and welcome to Meganet Gaming. Today we're going to do a different platform, the Sega Genesis, which you can actually play these games on a PC if you have the ROM file by using RetroArch and the NetPlay feature. So, Arch Rivals was originally a Midway arcade game developed by Rare for the NES, and Arc Developments for Game Gear and Genesis. The arcade game came out in 1989, NES in 1990, and is 1992 for the Genesis, Mega Drive, and the Game Gear. There is a single player feature, but we're going to focus on multiplayer. So let's go ahead and get this up. So, the gameplay, you start off by picking a character, and each one has a unique characteristic. You have Blade, the crowd pleaser, Hammer, the rebound king, Lewis, the top shooter, Mohawk, who's tough and mean, Moose, a real champ, Reggie, all-American, Tyrone, defensive giant, and Vinny, a great player. And for multiplayer, the player 1 is the home team, player 2 or the computer is the away team. In the arcade version, you had teams Chicago, West LA, New York, Denver, Natural High, and Brawl State. So, basically what this game does have 2-point shots, 3-point shots. It's 2-on-2 basketball with your standard basketball from that point. However, there's no fouls. You can punch players to get the ball, and there's also obstacles that appear on the court that can cause you to slip and lose the ball. There is the ability to shatter the backboard, much like NBA Jam, and a lot of the gameplay in this game and features are basically seem like a primitive version of NBA Jam. As far as the single player goes, AI, once you notice the patterns, it's quite easy to run up the score. Again, the gameplay footage I'm showing, I haven't played this game in who knows how long before this. This is my first time playing it again. And without much effort, it wasn't hard to easily defeat the AI. But where the real fun comes in is when you do play against other players. It is up to 2 players, so 1 on each team. There isn't any feature to both be on the same team, unfortunately. So, yeah, you have kicking, you have the punching, standard features, basketball. You have a little crowd in the background. Adds a bit of, it helps kind of flesh out the environment a bit, but there's not very many people in the crowd, maybe about 20 characters altogether, kind of completing the same animations. If you're coming from NBA Jam back to this game, the graphics are much more primitive, but they are, as well as animations, but they are good enough to play the game. The Genesis version does run a bit faster than the NES version, and even the arcade version, it seems, which can result in some oddities from time to time. But it's not so fast where it's unplayable. So yeah, there's really not a whole lot to discuss with this game, to be honest. Every time you score a basket, you end up with a scene that plays, be a coach yelling at the players, be players from another team groaning in disgust, groaning. You can have cheerleaders shouting. It's also a fictional TV studio called WIDB TV that's occasionally shown, and a coach's corner screen. Well, the problem with that is every time you score a basket, you end up with the gameplay stopping because you have to watch the brief little cutscene, which you can skip, but you're still interrupting the play, which when you're going from fast-paced gameplay to a cutscene you have to skip, then trying to reset, does affect the flow of the game quite a bit. After a while, you do ignore it, though. So yeah, not a whole lot to the game. There's not really any type of save feature. Is a feature like a rankings that it keeps track of to see who scored the most points in a game. But no type of season or save feature. So there's not a whole lot of replayability here. So basically what you have here is the movement's fluid, controls responsive. So what you have here is a basketball game that's quite a lot of fun to play, and compared to other titles on the market this time, it's actually quite a good game. If you go back and play one of the more simulation type games like Tecmo Super NBA Basketball or Tecmo NBA Basketball, or you try to play Double Dribble even, the pace of those games and trying to play it into 2020 is quite rough. I would say NBA Live 95 is an exception to that, but that's another 3 years later that was released, 2 or 3 years after this Genesis title. So, yeah, what are we going to give it? I do recommend the game, and I went ahead and changed how we do the rankings. We have the top tier games, then we have the middle tier, which are games we recommend, but they have some issues where more than likely you should definitely be interested in the genre, subject matter, etc. Soft recommends, I should say, and then the bottom tier ones that we just didn't enjoy that much. But yeah, Arch Rivals, it's a great game to play occasionally with a friend. Play a couple games and then set it back on the shelf. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and have a great day.